Why can someone be perfectly polite to you and still leave you feeling smaller after every conversation? They didn't insult you. They didn't raise their voice. They didn't say anything obviously cruel. So you walk away thinking, maybe I'm overreacting. But something felt off. Maybe you were explaining an idea and they checked their phone. You started speaking and they immediately talked over you. You answered a question and they turned to someone else as if you weren't finished. You made a point in a meeting, and 5 minutes later, someone repeated the same idea, and suddenly it mattered. None of these moments look dramatic enough to confront. That's exactly why they're so easy to miss. Because some disrespect doesn't attack you directly. It quietly teaches you that your words carry less weight, and over time, you begin adjusting. You speak faster. You add more detail. You soften your opinions. You wait longer to enter the conversation. You start saying things like, sorry, just one quick thought, before you've even done anything wrong. That's the hidden cost. The disrespect happened outside you, but eventually the shrinking happens inside you. And this is where most people make a mistake. They look for obvious proof. Did they insult me? Did they call me incompetent? Did they say something I can report? But quiet disrespect often lies below that threshold. It appears as a pattern of small signals. Who gets interrupted? Who gets ignored? Who has to repeat themselves? Whose time is treated as flexible? Whose ideas need someone else's voice before they become valuable? One moment may mean nothing. A pattern means more. That distinction matters. Because not every interruption is disrespect. Not every distracted person is dismissing you. Not every awkward conversation is manipulation. If you treat every small moment like an attack, you lose clarity. But if you dismiss every small moment, because none of them seem serious enough, you lose something else. Your ability to see the pattern. Stoicism helps here because it asks us to separate emotion from observation. Not, how offended should I be? But what keeps happening? That question is much more useful. Imagine a coworker interrupts you once. Maybe they were excited. Maybe they misread the pause. You let it go. But then it happens again. And again. You notice something else. They rarely interrupt the senior manager. They don't talk over the person they want approval from. Only certain people. Now you have information. The behavior may look accidental, but the pattern is selective. That's where quiet disrespect often reveals itself. Not in what someone claims. In what they repeatedly permit themselves to do around you. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself to see things as they are. Without adding unnecessary drama. Without removing inconvenient truth. That balance matters. Because the goal isn't to become suspicious of everyone. The goal is to stop explaining away what you repeatedly observe. So what do? First, stop trying to prove intent. You may never know exactly why someone does it, and you don't need to. Respond to the behavior. If they interrupt you, calmly say, I want to finish that thought. Then finish. If they dismiss your point and return to it later, say, yes, that's the point I raised earlier. Let's build on it. If they repeatedly redirect the conversation before you're done, bring it back. Before we move on, I wasn't finished. Notice what these responses do. They don't accuse. They don't diagnose. They don't say, you don't respect me. They make the invisible behavior visible. And that is powerful. Because quiet disrespect survives in ambiguity. It depends on you wondering whether the moment was serious enough to mention. It depends on you staying silent because you don't want to seem difficult. Now it depends on every incident being treated as isolated. But once you calmly name the behavior, the pattern loses some of its cover, and then watch what happens. Healthy person adjusts? They may apologize. They may not even have realized they were doing it. But someone who benefits from the pattern may react differently. They laugh, minimize it, call you sensitive, act confused, or repeat the behavior later. Again, that is information. You don't need to become louder. You need to become more observant. The next time you leave a conversation feeling strangely diminished, don't immediately ask, am I being too sensitive? Ask, what actually happened? And has it happened before? Look for the pattern. Who gets interrupted? Who gets acknowledged? Who has to repeat themselves? Who is expected to wait? Because sometimes disrespect isn't hidden because it's complicated. It's hidden because it arrives in moments small enough to make you doubt yourself. And once you can see the pattern clearly, you no longer have to become louder to protect yourself. You simply stop helping the pattern remain invisible. If this helped you recognize quiet disrespect differently, subscribe. Every video is designed to help you protect your peace, think clearly under pressure, and become harder to control without becoming harder to be around. And if you haven't watched how to stay calm around difficult people, watch that next.